Peace. So this build is going to be about the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. So first and foremost, straight cult classic. It hit the scene like wildfire, burned up everything. If I'm not mistaken, it came out, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years ago. Don't quote me on it. You can look it up, but I know it did come out a while ago. So straight fire when it dropped. Everybody went and got it. Rappers start talking about it. The shit took like wildfire. People picking up, reading, and so on and so forth. Nowadays, what I see is people talking shit about the 48 Laws of Power. You know, Robert Greene is a fucking nerd, you know, doesn't look nothing like he is a warrior, you know, no fucking Machiavelli, no fucking art of war. Like, that's just not who that dude is. The dude is a nerd, he's a bookworm, and so on and so forth. So people would be like, this dude, and this, that, and other. Right? Which he damn sure don't look like no warrior, right? Whatever. All right, so, but let's go with the information, right? And then it's like, you know, the criticism is this dude just regurgitating what authors already wrote about. He's just regurgitating books, which is a fact, right? It's a fact, though. So let me give you my spiel on it, because I read Robert Greene when it first came out, The 48 Laws of Power, and I personally dug that shit, right? So I'm not going to critique his shit. I'm not critiquing the people who critique his shit, right? Who talk shit about him in the book and, you know, try to make it invalid, you know, so on and so forth. I'm not even talking about that. That ain't even the person who I am. I'm just going to tell you the jewels that I took from it and what somebody else can take from it as well. So, absolutely, it is regurgitating what another classic book, another classic author has already published. That's a fact. What I took from it was, I didn't want to read the whole fucking book that those other authors wrote about, right? This dude broke it down in bite-sized pieces for the person who didn't want to read it. But what I end up doing, right, some of the books that I saw on there, I end up going back and reading the original version where he got it from. But still, he broke it down in bite-sized pieces and made it more understandable to the layman. Because some of these classic books are written to where you won't know what the fuck they talking about. Like, people read Machiavelli, The Prince, and they don't fucking get it. You know, you got to go back and read that shit, or have somebody break it down to you to try to understand it. Even the Art of War, you know, the Art of War is simplistic, but some things people just don't understand. So this dude, Robert Greene, broke this shit down, man, in bite-sized pieces, right? What we call that nowadays, man, we call that a fucking hack, man. This fool hacked the classics. So absolutely not. This dude did not create these fucking books. He didn't create the mindset. He didn't do none of that shit. And I personally never heard him even say anything like he done that, right? The dude broke the shit down. The dude was a fan of the classic writings, man. And the dude turned around and broke this shit down, right? For me, that's where the value came in at. Hack the fucking book and give me the bite-sized pieces where I can take the gems out of it. And that's exactly what I did. I took the gems out of the bite-sized pieces. And again, like I said, I went and reread what I read the original version for the first time on some of the books, right? And he played the shit to where it was almost like he was there, like the shit was a movie. So you got to give that fool his props for breaking it down in such a fashion that it was low-key entertaining. He wrote it entertaining. And then the little footnotes inside, on the side of the page, to where he break that shit down for you, you know, just in case you missed something, just in case you needed more clarity on something. Then he broke it down into categories about strategy. come on, man. I ain't gonna knock this fool on how he wrote the book, man. The fool wrote the book good, man. He took classical writings, classical books, and broke them down into bite-sized pieces so we can bring them in, make it entertaining, man. So, yeah, for me, it was abundance of jewels in there. And I do personally, I encourage people to read the book, especially if you're younger. You know, get the book, read it, man. Don't get all fucking obsessed and be some fanboy and be all left and all that other crazy shit. Absolutely not, man. Read the works, man. And if you're reading 48 Laws of Power and you want to get in depth into what he's talking about in a particular book, of course, go back and read the original version, because the original versions are always things that you need in your library, man. So definitely get the original one, you know, because eventually, if you're really into it, you're going to want to read the original anyway. Most of those books that he's even building on, people don't even know about them. You have to literally be into that warfare mindset, that strategic, tactical type shit to even want to even know what he's talking about in terms of the author and the books. So again, a lot of people that's going to read the 48 Laws of Power, they just going to be getting turned on to probably about 65-75% of the books that he even talking about. So definitely I encourage young readers, or old readers for that matter, if you're not really up on strategic thinking, to go read the 48 Laws of Power. Take it with a grain of salt, man. And it's jewels in there. Of course, he didn't create it. Don't think he created it. The dude just brought a twist on it. He brought a hack, a different version on try to read it and get a better understanding of it. And that's my understanding on 48 Laws of Power. Robert Greene, the dude is an author. I'm not going to put no chili on him to make him more than what he is. He's an author. He broke some shit down. He did something that other people had not done up until that point. And now other authors are breaking down books in similar fashion. So guess what? That fool brought a niche to the game. He found his lane and he won doing it. Props to that motherfucker for breaking it down like that. And that's my build on why you should read the 48 Laws of Power. Peace.